Tucker Carlson, who is a disgraceful racist who's given a giant platform on Fox News, along with other disgraceful racists, brought on one other racist. He's the editor of the conservative City Journal, and if you haven't heard of it, don't blame yourself, most people haven't. He comes on the show and they're having a discussion about Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's district. That's the 14th district in New York. And what they wanted to do was draw attention to how filthy that district allegedly is. This video is so gross, but this is what you can expect on Fox News. Take a look.
We sent a camera to Ocasio-Cortez's congressional district and found that, you won't be surprised to hear, it is filled with garbage, litter and trash piled in public parks, on the sidewalks that have been overtaken by the homeless, etc., etc., etc. How can someone who claims to care about the environment so much he's going to ban air travel represent a district this dirty? That's a question we're posing tonight to Seth Barron. He's an editor at City Journal, and he joins us tonight. So Seth, we're connoisseurs of irony on the show, but if you claim to care about the environment, you think that the little piece of America you're responsible for, that you represent in the Congress, would be clean, but hers isn't. Why?
Well, part of the reason is because her district is actually one of the least American districts in the country. And by that, I don't mean that it's not part of America, but it's occupied by relatively few American citizens. A very high percentage of her district is, in fact, illegal aliens. Now, the way they inhabit housing there is such that they live in a lot of illegal spaces, like basements, and many people live there. So they wind up producing a lot of garbage that the landlords don't want thrown out normally. So hence you wind up with a lot of garbage on the streets. You have illegal food vendors pouring their pig grease into the gutters. Yeah, I mean, I worked out there. It can be a little gross.
So let's obviously talk about facts to debunk the nonsense that disgusting person is spewing. So first off, there is absolutely no evidence to indicate that the majority of people living in that district are undocumented immigrants.
He has no idea.
No idea, right?
What percentage, how many, he has no idea whatsoever.
And look, he was brought on to the show specifically to say what he said, right? And Tucker Carlson knows what he's doing, right? It's all about doing what it takes to lead to like a visceral reaction, like the reaction of disgust when it comes to immigrants. That's what they're trying to do here. So first off, what's the actual data about that district? Census Bureau data from 2018 shows that just over 45% of the population in Congressional District 14 was foreign-born, with the largest share of the foreign-born population coming from Latin America and Asia. And again, that's according to the census, right? But the Census Bureau data also does not show any link between the makeup of the community's population and the state of the district. And there is no indication that the foreign-born individuals, or the majority of the foreign-born individuals in that district, are undocumented immigrants. There's no evidence to show that. In fact, I would argue that that district has quite a few Puerto Ricans living there. And so Puerto Ricans are Americans, right? But they won't mention that.
They have no idea. Foreign-born does not mean undocumented. It doesn't mean not a citizen. Theoretically, if Trump and Melania ever actually lived together, half of the Lincoln bedroom would be foreign-born. I guess that's why there's Filet-O-Fish wrappers all over the place. That must be why, right? No, he has no idea whatsoever. And importantly, they decided we're gonna send cameras to AOC's district and do what exactly? Film every street and see what percentage had trash on it? Or more likely, go and find literally any trash they can find.
Well, okay.
Did they go to other districts and see how it compares to Republican districts? No. Here's what they did. They gave a guy a camera and they said, go find me trash. I can do that literally anywhere. I can do that in the kitchen in a couple minutes if you'll wait. That's not hard to do. It's not scientific.
It's New York. There's trash on the sidewalks in every district. That's what New York does. That's what they do. And it's not, like that's how it works. People take their trash in bags outside on the sidewalk and it gets picked up, right? Am I wrong? I've seen it all over New York, including the ritzy areas. So like, this is such a dumb story and it's a dumb way to go after AOC, right? Like they will do anything to try to smear her, to try to go after her. They're obsessed with her. And the reason why they're obsessed with her is because she's powerful, she's influential, and they know it. She's young, she's smart, she's sharp. I mean, you see her in these hearings. I mean, her line of questioning to Trump's former personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, was incredible. She had the best line of questioning that got Michael Cohen on the record to say that Donald Trump has committed fraud, both in the case of filing his taxes, where he deflated his assets, and also in the case of inflating his assets in order to obtain loans that he wouldn't otherwise qualify for. I'm bringing that up because, look, she was the one who did her research, she did her homework, and there's a movement a powerful movement in this country that she's part of. They're afraid of her. And so even though this story is just swimming with xenophobia and racism and hate, understand that the underlying issue that's getting under their skin is that progressives are slowly but surely becoming more powerful in this country. And that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, everything you said about AOC is true, but her office is messy, so I don't trust her. But so it is dumb if you want to actually believe that Tucker Carlson is one of these new Republican personalities. It's all about logic and reason and debate, and they care about the facts, not feelings. No, it's not that at all. It's him selectively editing footage to make it seem as if one area is dirty, and that somehow proves that we shouldn't care about carbon concentrations in the atmosphere. It makes no sense whatsoever. There's no logic there. It's a deception. It's a deception to anyone who happens to watch the show and his core audience as well. But I disagree that it's dumb because, look, in terms of the conservative worldview and their values, if you read George Lakoff or whatever, they do value cleanliness. They're afraid of becoming sick, those sorts of things, both literally and metaphorically, those are things that they value. And so in your rhetoric, if you imply that something is dirty or that it's like impure or something like that, they do actually find that very effective. And that's why Tucker Carlson brings on guests to say that immigrants are dirty. That's why he himself has literally said that immigration makes America dirtier. It is racism, it is xenophobia, but it's carefully targeted against people who love to eat that stuff up.
Right, and I mean, if anyone would have anything to say about trash, it would be not literal, but it would be human garbage, like Tucker Carlson and the guest that he had on. Look, we gotta keep our eyes on the prize, we gotta stay focused. You're right, you're absolutely right. What they're doing in their messaging is effective, but don't forget what their audience consists of. Yes, they're the top cable news channel, but when you really look at the grand scheme of things and you compare numbers to cable news, the top cable news channel, and let's say some of the top digital media outlets, right? I mean, digital media is really outperforming cable news. And I know it's difficult to compare the two because there's different rating systems. We're talking about clicks versus Nielsen ratings or whatever. But their audience is incredibly old, right? Young people have no interest in cable news overall, but certainly no interest in Fox News. They know they're losing, and this is the reason why they lash out like this. And it's easy to get angry and frustrated, and I feel that as well. But you gotta take a step back, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm the most pessimistic person on this entire network. But to me, this signals we're becoming more and more effective and they're scared.
Maybe. I would say specifically, as a general point, I agree with you. Specifically for here, I know AOC was tweeting about this after she was attacked that way, and she was saying, this is why I've debated in the past going on Fox, and this is why I will not, because I'm not going to use my name and my platform and all that to help generate ad revenue for an explicitly racist and xenophobic network. And I generally agree with that. I believe, for instance, I supported Bernie Sanders doing a town hall on Fox News. I'm not concrete, like set on believing that that's always the best idea, but I think that's one thing. This is what Tucker Carlson's show is. His mission is white supremacy, that's all it is. It sickens me when people tie themselves into mental knots to try to say, oh, all of a sudden he's sort of saying the right thing. He sounds sort of populist, he's deceiving people. It is a con, that's all it is. The thing inside of the box is white supremacy, that's all it is. That's what his show is for. He brings people on who he thinks will help him advance that agenda. And that is why no one should be going on his show. And I know some of you have people that you like that go on his show. Please tweet at them to stop. They shouldn't do it anymore because this is what they're supporting. And the better people they are, the better name they have, the more respect that they command, they are helping to normalize Tucker Carlson's brand of white supremacy, that's all. And so I know that people think, well, I'll go in there and I'll change some hearts and minds or whatever. Yeah, maybe, hypothetically, but in the meantime, you're doing a lot of damage. And so if you have people that you like that are going on that show, it is on you not to blindly follow their lead, but to advise them to stop supporting someone who is trying to enshrine white supremacy.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.